Hey everybody, it's Chanchai. It's been a while since I made a video, but I really miss making videos. I've got a lot more coming. I've just been very busy with household project, installing new carpets, gonna resurface the our hardwood floors. So that's kept me very busy just preparing for that. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about Gamerfinger buttons. And this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. But there is something I have to say about Gamerfinger buttons, because this video is probably going to tell people why Gamerfinger buttons are really good. And it's going to tell you why I really like them and why they are my most recommended buttons. However, there's something you should know even more important than that, okay? Because some people that I talk to with Gamerfingers do end up wanting to buy them. And when they want to go buy them, the most natural instinct is they're going to go to the website. So, most important message today: never, ever, 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 ever buy from the Gamerfinger website. You can look at the Gamerfinger website. You can check out the pictures, figure out which Gamerfinger buttons are on your list. Okay, that's great. But I highly advise that you do not buy from the Gamerfinger website. This is not something I would say lightly about anything, but the community has seen a lot of accounts of people who put an order on the Gamerfinger website, and yeah, maybe 3 years ago they waited 6 months and got buttons. But I've heard a lot of accounts of people that have just never gotten the buttons, never got a response, could not reach the admin of the website, could not get that reconciled. So I cannot advise you to buy from the Gamerfinger website. I don't want to do any libel or slander. If I see accounts of people actually getting Gamerfinger buttons through that website legitimately nowadays, I'll say it. I will be the first one to go up and tell people, hey, looks like someone did get an order. But right now, as far as the community knows, people that order from the Gamerfinger website can expect nothing except money that has been gone. If for some reason you just went and bought, at the start of this video, you went and bought Gamerfinger buttons, my recommendation then is not even to try to reach the owner of the site, though you can. I would recommend reaching out to PayPal or your credit card company or whoever processed the payment for you, and get a refund somehow, okay? Get that canceled, or try to reconcile it that way. But again, number one thing I have to say when I talk about Gamerfinger buttons is I do not recommend anybody buy from the Gamerfinger website. I know you just heard Gamerfinger and you heard Gamerfinger website. You need to remember, do not buy from there. It's got a bad track record, a lot of broken hearts and a lot of broken wallets. So let's avoid that. And having said that, I would love to talk about why Gamerfinger buttons are wonderful, but I will also talk about how to get Gamerfinger buttons, okay? And we're going to do this kind of in a fun way today. So today is an unboxing video because I just got a shipment of Gamerfinger buttons from a place that I like. A place that does get stocked up, but it does cost because it's international. In fact, if you were to buy used Gamerfinger buttons, the reason for the high price is typically because international shipping was involved somewhere. International shipping was a part of what happened in the process. And so it becomes really important to understand that. So let's get to the unboxing. Be just a moment here. All right, I am back. I was interrupted for some reason, but I'm back now, and yeah, let's talk about the first method that I recommend on getting Gamerfinger buttons. So the first way I recommend getting Gamerfinger buttons is going through a retailer, usually the Japanese retailers, the ones that already have it in stock. And mainly, I get it from Akekon shop, which is in Japan. And they do have a Twitter account. You should go subscribe to that account because they announce whenever they do get a full stock of Gamerfinger buttons, and they typically sell out of most of the stock with less than 2 days. The prices are fine, and nowadays the minimum order per order, or the maximum Gamerfinger buttons you can buy total in an order, has been raised to 12. It used to be 8 or 10, but now it's 12, and 12 is a good number. So they always have a great selection. Recently, they did not have the embed models. I still haven't used those models. Eventually, I'll talk about those. I'll do an unboxing video for that. But they typically, excuse me, they typically have everything. And usually they would have the embed buttons as well, 30 millimeter and 24 millimeter. Pretty much all combinations of colors, plungers, and black or crystal housing. And the housing in 2 styles, either screw-on or snap-ins. So yeah, we'll get to that because we'll show off some of the buttons here. And we'll talk about why Gamerfinger buttons are pretty awesome. Anyways, so this is one box of 2. And it is because 2 different orders. So this would be one order from Chanchai shop, the method I've been recommending. I definitely recommend following them on Twitter again and checking them. And basically, you'll know ahead of time. You'll know like a week ahead when they're going to come, and then you'll know when they actually have put them on the site for sale. So, also, I ordered some Seimitsu parts as well. Chanchai is a great shop. They carry a lot of cool stuff that I really like to get. And so I usually pack my orders with all kinds of stuff. Not just the buttons, but parts as well, you know. So, got some here. Got stickers. I also bought book product here. So we've got book stickers from Chanchai shop. Very happy about that. And more buttons. Yep. But again, it's going to be only about 12 buttons in this order. As you can see, this is just the invoice and packaging. So we'll set that aside. Let's look at what we got here. Sure, we'll go ahead and do this. Sorry if you get the loud sounds. So hopefully it's not too loud, but I am trying to project my voice in hopes that we get a better sound. So we've got our Seimitsu stickers. I love these. I do use them. What Seimitsu parts did I get? Well, I got a cord, and I got the the PlayStation 5 upgrade for the Universal Fight Board. The upgrade kit, and then also we've got Brook stickers. How about that? I love it. I am a big fan of the stickers because I found different places where I do use them. Not necessarily on the controller itself, but I do use them on the cases that I put them in, like the bags and our displays. I also got some PCB sticky posts. Posts and pigs. All right, so that's that portion. Let's talk about Gamerfinger buttons. So, full disclosure, I've only used 30 millimeter Gamerfinger buttons. Eventually, I will use 24 millimeters. I just haven't started collecting those. I do put them in a lot of builds. Technically, Crown 202 are just my personal favorite buttons. But Gamerfinger are the buttons I recommend the most. And when we get one in hand, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I recommend them, why I do think they are like the go-to buttons. And I'll talk about my first impressions of them because I think it's important for people to understand kind of a typical cycle. Hold on, I'm going to put this down a sec. All right, let's see these Gamerfinger buttons. Did I screw this up? Did I screw it up? Is it upside down? No. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make sure. Okay, so we got some different Gamerfinger buttons. We have got Gamerfinger black. Yeah, we've got green. I did get mix and match because I'm filling out my sets. This is what we call a light green. They have two types of green. This is their lighter green. It's beautiful. It's kind of a lime neon green, and I really like this color. I think it's great. I'm going to take out the invoice to take a look at it while hiding information. Let's see. Yeah, so, oh, that's right, it's in Japanese, so you can't even really, like, I could read it, but it's going to take too much time on the video. Let's call it light green today. I'll correct it if it's not light green. So again, these are the light greens, 4 light greens here. We've got a black here, and these are with black housing, and these are all screw-in buckles. Black housing, and also something that's very iconic. There's a couple things. We'll go into that with the button. I've got one yellow here, and then I've got another light green. So if we got all this much light green, it's good to know. But we've got more buttons. Sorry for the loud sound. Sorry for the loud tape chairs. Let's get this tape off. Okay. Dump these buttons in. Oh, we're going to slide them out. Okay. Alright, again, more yellow buttons. Alright, yellow is the full set I got. For me, a full set is 9. Why 9? Because you got 8 primaries, and then I like to have an antagonist button. Any other button's likely to be a 24mm as well, so in whatever setup I'm using. So I like to get 9. And with Gamerfinger buttons, I've never had a problem with these things breaking, so I kind of just go ahead and buy however much a set is. You know, if it was Sanwa, I'd tell people, you know, you should buy a few extra, just because of the high chance of breaking, especially if it's a Sanwa snap-in. If it's a Sanwa screw-in, that's different. But a Sanwa snap-in is likely to break. Let me get this out. Okay. So here we have a Gamerfinger button. What are some of the iconic things? The first iconic thing is the octagon rims. Some people love them. I don't love them. It's not my favorite look. What I do like about them is the functional aspect. Sometimes with the screw-in, it really helps if the buckle is not the only thing you're turning. And with these rims, it's easier to turn them. It's almost like you've got a built-in wrench. And so you can rotate this to the position you need it to while you're adjusting the buckle. And sometimes you might have an arcade controller layout where a PCB is getting in the way or the buttons are so close together. And so sometimes you just can't have all of the buckles going all the way to the panel. When that happens, that buckle ends up being kind of a weird kind of fastener where one button is being fastened a little higher because it's fastening against another button's buckle. If that happens, it's easier to kind of screw this in while holding the buckle in the correct position and then tighten accordingly. So you get more flexibility in your builds or in what you can and how you can mount your buttons that way. That is one functional advantage for having this octagon shape. Some people absolutely love the octagon shape, and they do look really good when you make them uniform and all your buttons are Gamerfinger buttons. It does look weird when you're mixing and matching, so you kind of have to use some patterns if you really want it, if you really want a good aesthetic overall look. So, okay, Gamerfinger buttons. What's the first impression? My first impression for Gamerfinger buttons was not great because I'd heard the hype. I heard how much everybody loves these buttons and how it's hard to get. Okay, and you've probably heard that too. And then now you found out today that it's even harder to get because why? Because never buy from the Gamerfinger website. That's a good way to invest a little too much more. Okay, so after all that hype, you get these buttons. And I gotta say, this build is looking better than I thought. But anyhow, after all that hype, you get these buttons. And what happens when you get the Gamerfinger buttons? At first, it actually feels cheap. It even looks cheap, you know. This is actually, I swear, the quality went up. But typically, when you get a Gamerfinger button, this buckle feels like it's like a cheap plastic, because I think these are 3D printed by one guy. That's what I actually think is the truth behind the Gamerfinger buttons. I think that one guy, I think he's in over his head. Maybe he's just not fulfilling orders. I don't know. But whatever reason, they don't seem to be processing their orders on the website, but they do seem to be fulfilling retailer orders. You know, people that are buying by the thousands and are going to make a big payday and make all that hours of effort worth it, right? So, they feel kind of cheap. When you first, now this is iconic, which is the kanji, the Chinese characters, stickers. These are awesome. Almost everybody will make a build, put the buttons in place, take photos, and then they'll take off these stickers and then play with the normal surface. These stickers have a nice surface to it too. They actually are very nice and slick. So, but when I first used the Gamerfinger buttons, I didn't like the octagon. Felt kind of cheap. I was like, oh, this plastic kind of feels cheap. By the way, I swear, these rims are feeling better than I remember. I think when I'm at home, I'm gonna need to compare them because these feel like they're better. Like they're kind of see-through. It feels way better. But anyhow, the first impression was these buttons feel kind of cheap. The plastic feel, it's like this smooth, kind of like easy to slide on matte plastic actually on the buttons. And that felt kind of cheap too at first. So I was a little disappointed. And then I played with them and they have this dead sound. And it's like, okay, what's the deal? What's the hype, right? It would be, I was like, they play well, but what's the hype? And I wouldn't really feel exactly why these buttons were so amazing in total until maybe a day later when I had time to play on them and get over the fact that they were cheaper than I expected looking and feeling. And that, you know, got over that I'm not crazy about the octagon rims, but some people really are. And this button, this yellow one, looks really good. Okay. So that said, my first impression, not so good. So what made day two different? Well, the more I played with these buttons, the more I had to admit the actuation was really good. And this smooth matte surface of the button on the regular 30mm model, I like the feeling. My fingers, you know, you have to have really oily or dirty fingers to have a problem with the buttons. Like, it is really good. It's very comfortable. This dead sound, that's the silence. It's very quiet. And for my game Virtua Fighter, quiet buttons is really a big deal if you play competitive offline. It is because in Virtua Fighter, we can hear what wake-up option the opponent is using from the loudness of the buttons. We can tell, especially if they're a lever user. On something like a hitbox, it's harder to tell because you're hearing a lot of buttons, so everything just kind of disguises. When you play on lever, you need to actually train yourself to hit a lot of buttons for all options, the right sequence of buttons, just so that you can disguise what your wake-up option is. We also have stagger break, and that can be really heard well too. So it's like you have to learn extra techniques if you're really worried about your opponent listening and doing the appropriate thing against your wake-up option. Okay, but there's actually more to it than that. I've just said that when you push a button, it's better, or it's really good. It's like best in class, comparable to like a Sanwa or Crown 202. Those are the ones I think are really, really good for that, right? I think Sanwas are still really good. I think they get a bad rap because the things that people don't like about them are very strong. And especially if you're playing in a house with other people, then the Sanwas are an incredibly loud button, right? So you do want more quiet buttons, and that's one reason among many. But also, a lot of people nowadays like a more soft profile feel. And, you know, Gamerfinger has that. This is a very nice soft press. But the big deal is actually being really fast and actuating really fast. That's kind of expected, and that happens on a lot of buttons. But Gamerfinger seems to me to be better than all the other buttons at the negative when you let go of the button. It's just, it's really quick And this actually matters in Virtua Fighter. There is a technique in Virtua Fighter that's perfect for testing the plus and the negative, like pushing it and letting go. And that is the Akira Yuki's knee attack. Yuki's knee attack is like, I've got guard, I've got punch, and I got kick, right? I have to press kick and guard at the same time, but I have to I have to keep holding kick, and I've got to let go of guard in one frame, in 1/60th of a second. So usually the technique is like bam, like that, like bam. That's how we do it. And like on a Sanwa, maybe if I did like 10 times, I'd be like maybe hitting it 7 times, right? 7 out of 10 times, 70%. With a Gamerfinger, it is very close to 100%, because this thing it goes negative. It goes like unpressed so fast. Another person on Discord had mentioned somewhere that when I commented about this, they said that, when we're doing plinking, they say that the Gamerfinger button is the only button where they could double tap with a single finger at the speed of plinking, at the speed of, like that, like da-doom, right? Gamerfinger buttons are amazing because of that actuation, pressing down, letting go. I haven't seen any button that's better, that's even like you can feel how much better this button is at doing that. And that is a big deal for a lot of games. Being able to register the press and registering the let go, like faster than anything else, that's huge. And on top of that, this is way quieter than a lot of button profiles. Like, it will still make sound. It's not the quietest button, but it is really quiet, and it has right? It's not click, 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 which is loud. It's not clack, 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 which is loud. Even the Gravity KS buttons, thunk, 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 is a little loud. But this thing is just, and it's just really, it's really quiet. And, the thunk, thunk, thunk is actually from Gravity KS is really good also, because it's just such a low register that it doesn't wake people up. It's not like high pitched at all. But yeah, these wonderful sound profile, amazing play. The surface is good. Again, day 1, why is this so cheap? Day 2, I like everything that this button is doing. And even though, again, I like my hard plastic feeling Crown 202s. I like the round rims on the Crown 202s. I like its soft mic, like it's kind of clickiness in how it actually presses. I like that too. But you ask me, what button performs the best? What button is quiet also while performing the best? And I have to say it's the Gamerfinger buttons, like hands down. Nothing has come close yet. But that's why I recommend Gamerfinger buttons. That's why I think people should get them. So there's more to this video though than that. Right now, we just opened the first box. We've got a second box because I had to I typically order 2 times whenever I order from Akicon. I'll get 24 buttons, right? That's not cheap at all, but again, you kind of know that every month and a half or so, about every month and a half, every 6 weeks is when you'll typically have an order. This summer, their big order got delayed. This order was in July, but their big order got delayed because of COVID. Staff there had got infected, and so they took precautions for a very long time. I swear it was longer than 10 days. It was like a month. So, all right, what do we got? Again, so let's remind ourselves, Gamerfinger buttons, never buy from the website. One really good way to get them is to get them from a place like Akicon. There are a few other Japanese stores that do stock them up. They're a little more difficult to navigate because Akicon Shop's website has an English interface. You can set it to US and it will put everything in US dollars for you. It's in English. It's a wonderful experience. You can get Brook products. You can get Seimitsu products. You can get a lot of cool stuff at Akicon Shop, and I love shopping there. This is not my first time. It's not my second time. I've shopped there quite a few times this year. And remember, I'm new to the hobby. But yeah. So looks like here we've got some Seimitsu stuff. Yeah. Got our Seimitsu tops. We've got, let's see. This is going to be the Seimitsu bag. All right. So what we got? We've got the pink bubble top from Seimitsu. Always love that. I love their bubble tops a lot. The Seimitsu bubble tops are great. We've got the tortoiseshell gold. Okay. Now these ones are interesting to me because I got, this is the pearl red. This is the pearl green. I was intending to get the pearl yellow, but apparently they got me tortoiseshell instead. Maybe they were out of the pearl yellow. I'm a little sad about that. And this is the pearl blue. And I can confirm what Hibachi Final has said, and it's stated on the Arcade Shock website. Arcade Shock sells a set of the, they sell them individually and as a set, the 4 colors of the pearl ball tops by Seimitsu. I'm really sad that maybe they're out of the yellow, but they gave me a tortoiseshell in, as a sort of a apology, I guess. Anyways, this is a little different color than the Arcade Shock ones. So, more limited editions. The Arcade Shock ones technically are the limited edition. These ones are the ones that you're going to find at like maybe Atasa or Akikan, and maybe even like in Australia. There's a really good shop down there. Shout outs to them. But these ones are, they're very beautiful, and I think it's worth having both sets. So these really pop on the red, green, and blue. I'm gonna try to find yellows. If somebody wants to sell yellow pearlescent ones to me, ones that are not from Arcade Shock, because I do have those, please let me know, because I'm looking for that. This is like the K-Dit blue red. Blue up here, red down here, and well, the packaging is the same. I think this is the one by KDIT. So, yeah, the blue red, awesome. Okay, what else we got here? Gamerfinger buttons. Okay, we got more. It looks like more Seimitsu. Let's open that Seimitsu. Let's open the Seimitsu. I'll be right back. Thank you all for following me on my journey, and sorry for my amateur setup. I still don't have like an amazing tripod or helping hands to help me with this. I should do that from now on. But it's always fun doing these unboxing videos, fresh out of the box. And these are the shafts and the pivots. Awesome. I've been excited for these. Let's see what we got. Okay. Yes. I need to double check the sheet, what it says I got. I want to make sure, because I do buy quite a bit of Seimitsu stuff lately. I've been on a Seimitsu binge and just hungry for knowledge, hungry for understanding, and the more I play them, the more I love them. These are the Nobi NT shafts, yeah. So Nobi NT shafts, right here. Eventually I may review them, because when I do a big Nobi video, I think I'm planning to do that, just because it's been fun exploring those. These are the LS32 pivots. I can't wait to try these out in the LS32. I actually haven't gotten around to using LS32 yet. I've been using the Nobi tops. I've been using LSQ40, LS40. I've still got a bunch in the queue, but LS32 is coming soon. All right, so let's look at what buttons we got. Anything else? Nope, this is everything. Let's put the box away, and let's look at the Gamerfinger buttons. As everyone can tell, I am becoming quite a fan of Seimitsu. I gotta give him a shout out too. First, this video is about Gamerfinger. So when it comes to Gamerfinger, again, I believe it is one guy who makes these. I think they 3D print them, and I swear the quality seems a little better, but you know what? It could just be that I'm in a very bright environment that makes me see the rims a little better. It might be just that. A lot of times there's a placebo whenever you're doing an unboxing, you know? You miss little things, you see some things. I'm not an expert, you know. I'm just a hobbyist like everyone else that's watching these videos. I just fell in love with this hobby for about 10 months now. And it's just so much to learn, but I'm soaking it up as much as I can like a sponge, because it's just so much fun. And so we've got red. No, are these orange? I think these are orange. Yeah, I think. Well, they look red to me, but I think they're the orange, because I do have some reds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, these are probably reds. Okay. Because I think I've got 2 reds and I need more. Alright, and then we've got crystal. Yeah, we got a single crystal on a black. black snap-in. This is what the snap-in looks like. Notice there's no buckle, and you push it in. Typically they were kind of cheap as well, so we'll see how this goes. All right, more buttons. Let's go through this. And there's more. Okay. So again, first method of buying Gamerfinger buttons. Get them brand new from a retailer that you can trust. And for me, Akekon is a retailer I can trust, and it's in English, so it's convenient. The DHL shipping is worth it. There's a deal in Japan where I think like EMS DHL have a deal, so the price is the same. Okay. Now we saw the greens earlier. This is a really bright green. Is this the same? No. Okay, no. So this is the darker original green that we had earlier, and these are the light greens. So they look kind of similar in retrospect, but they're great. We have the blues. There's a cobalt blue, which I love, but I have a bunch of them already, and this is the blue. That one fills my set. Here is Sakura. A lot of people love Sakura. I'm filling my set as well. Sakura is the pink color. It is great. And then we got our light greens. We got another crystal. And all black housing today. I have a lot of the crystal housing. So all of the ones I got in this order have been black housing. All right, that is a lot of buttons and a lot of ball tops. Makes me happy, and pumps. So there's more. Okay, so I talked about how to buy new Gamerfingers. Actually, the way I recommend it right now, especially now, is buying Gamerfinger buttons used. I think it is a good idea to buy them used now, and there are some places you can go that have been wonderful to me. I can't guarantee everything, but what I can say is my experience has been really good. And so my experience has been like on Discord. If you can find a lot of the Korean lovers, and if you can just find all the arcade related Discords, and through them, eventually you can work your way through the network, and you can find yourself at the Reddit fight sticks. The fight stick Reddit's Discord is a really good class, has a really good classifieds. Now you can also go through Facebook. Every day people post like on Retro Arcade Controller Group. They have a really good, like, especially if you live in California, Facebook's an awesome option because there's just so many people in California that are willing to go the no shipping route, and you guys just meet up and they sell you the parts. There's a lot of that going on in California. Up to you if you decide that that's for you or not for you, and I understand if it's not for you. But Facebook is a good way to do that. Not in the open marketplace, but on the Retro Arcade Stick Collective or any of the other community-driven Facebook groups. But I really recommend the Discords, and especially the Reddit Fight Stick Discord is a really good one that I can feel like, well, enough people know about this publicly, and it should be easy to find the link, that I can recommend that one heartily because I consistently see a lot of things go on sale there. So you want to look at for what people are selling. And I would say when you do that, lately, a lot of people are selling Gamerfinger buttons, and that's because a lot of people have converted to Gravity KS. I personally think the Gamerfinger buttons definitely perform better, but some people feel like the Gravity KS might look better, and they feel like the performance is still fantastic. So that's a new dynamic, and that has led to I've been seeing lots and lots of Gamerfinger buttons available. In the hobby, there's just been a lot of people who have done builds, and they want to try new stuff too. And sometimes that means they want to change the buttons, and they got so many Gamerfingers and they were hoarding them, like I do. But you're going to find people that sell them, and I do see that Gamerfinger buttons always for sale. Now, it might not always be for sale directly individually, but I'll get back to that later. But right now, buying on the Discords, on the classified sections, especially one like the Fight Stick, and you can also ask people in the community if a certain seller is trustworthy, or somebody that's selling, if other people trust that person. But so far, my experience has been really good. All right, so here's another box. This, I did buy Gamerfinger buttons directly used from a community member that I do trust. And I'm not going to say who they are. Actually, this one was through a group buy. There was a group buy done on the Discords, and I got some Gamerfinger buttons through it. So these are new. So that's another method. So let's go through. These are okay. We have yeah, so we got green, 8 greens, which these are the other green. Look at that. Don't they look good? I think they look really good. So these are like an aqua green. We've got the oranges. Yep, they said red, so this is considered red. So look at that red. Okay, it's kind of similar to what I already got. So I got 8 green, 8 red, and it's very easy. I got that in the group buy. And on the Discords, you're gonna find your way to the group buys. It'll take time. It'll take people trusting you and then letting you know who's doing the group buy. But once you do that, once you're in, and as long as you're still trustworthy and not screwing people over, then our community can keep being an awesome community that is selling parts at a very low cost. Like right now, where the community is at, everybody's selling stuff used at a very low price because everybody values this hobby so much, and I think they're afraid of what happened to like the pinball hobby happening to. I don't think it would ever happen to the lever and buttons. It might happen on buttons, but I think what happened to pinball, where suddenly it's become like a rich man's hobby. That's unfortunate, right? 10 years ago, if you got into pinball, it was not cheap. It's very expensive, but it was so much more affordable, But right now, I've just heard that the prices are way too much, and it's only catering to the rich people or the people that think that they're going to have a museum or arcade that will be successful. And I'm just going to tell you, it's really hard to make a living doing that. It really, really is. It's hard to keep an arcade afloat. It's hard to keep even a museum afloat. You got to be very good as a bar if you want that to succeed, or it's got to be the thing you do on the side at no cost. All right, so I've talked about, what have we said? Let's repeat it. Number 1, never buy from the Gamerfinger website. Number 2, Gamerfinger buttons. The first impression might be that they're kind of cheap. But the second impression usually is these buttons perform really good. They feel good. And the sound is pretty quiet. That's an amazing, amazing, amazing arcade button. So the Gamerfinger buttons are amazing. In my view, they live up to the hype on those metrics. Maybe you're not into the octagon rims, but I think it looks beautiful here. But some people are. But maybe that function of the button just performing so good at like tournament level and quiet, like a good tournament button should be, that is probably what will win you over. But the look can totally win you over because not everybody is a Crown 202 person. Not everybody is a Gravity KS person. Not everyone's a Sanwa person, right? I still love Sanwa buttons, by the way, and I still find people that go back to Sanwa and say they don't know why they ever left. They still love them. But not everyone's a Sanwa button person, and there's a lot of haters too. And not everyone's a Seimitsu button person, and those are awesome too. You might be a Gamerfinger person. But even if you aren't, you might want the Gamerfinger performance, and that might be what matters more. Depends on you. It's all up to you and what you think, and also the concept of your build or how much that's important to you. So, last but not least, there is another tip I have. So, I've said all that. Let's do the next part of the review. How should you buy a Gamerfinger button? Number 1 way, if you want to get them new, is you could get them from a shop like Akekon that gets them every month and a half, sells out within 2 days, so you need to set aside time for that and be ready to buy the ones you want. But, quick tip on that, you don't need to have crystal housing and green plunger. If you're going to buy a bunch already and you have a second color set that you need, you can mix and match, because you can always take out the plunger and put it in another. You can always switch to the housing to buckle or to snap in. So don't feel so constrained by that. You can work within the limits, but you can buy, it doesn't have to be already built exactly how you need it. You just need to be able to build it towards the button that you're going for. And that's a big tip when you're shopping on Akekon, because each combination has their own page. So you're gonna just get them as the combination, and you might be hunting around, or you might feel like it's, you know, you're like, green and black is sold out. Well, maybe you were going to get green and black, but maybe you were going to also get red and crystal. So instead you buy the green with crystal and then the red with black, and then you mix and match. You can do that. So that's my tip for you if you're buying new and you're buying from a website like that. Okay, second way to get it, you can get it like in a group buy. You can get it in a group buy, or you can go on the Discords and buy it used. Okay, another tip. It doesn't have to be that the seller is just selling Gamerfinger buttons. I bought these from somebody who was selling a build and selling multiple builds. And, you know, there's two ways to go about it. One is you message them nicely and say, hey, I saw that in your build, you're selling the cobalt blue buttons. Can I buy that? Could I buy the cobalt blue? Would you be okay doing that? Do you think you can still sell your build without them, right? And they might say yes, they might say no. Let's say they say no. Okay, that's fine. All right, just checking, you know. And then later on, maybe they just really have trouble selling that build. So then you and maybe later you'll see them willing to sell them separate, or willing to split apart the build and sell them as individual parts. That happens a lot. I'm not trying to discourage people from selling builds, because the builds that people build are very beautiful. They're very personal. And a lot of times when you buy them as a build, you're going to save a lot on all those parts. So if you happen to want all the parts in the build, it's a great buy. If you wanted the build itself, that's amazing, because you've made a connection with an artist and their craft, and you've bought the thing that they built on their own artistic vision, and you said, I like it too, and I want that. That's amazing. You're going to make a good friend. But sometimes you can just also be patient, and you'll see that sometimes builds not all builds are destined to be sold. And sometimes when that happens, you know, you're kind of like a vulture, like on the Retro Arcade Stick Collective's mascot, which is a vulture. You're kind of ready to go pick apart the pieces that you do want when they're available. And that is something that you can wait for and just say, well, it just worked out this way. But, you know, you could also be buying a lot of other parts from them. And a lot of times when I bought stuff from people, because they're other collectors, they've got a bunch of other parts that I'm interested in. So that's great. So let's check out all these buttons that I got. These were used buttons. These were used in different builds. Some of them were new. They were in their stockpile because they still got the sticker, you know. Some of them maybe, I think this person actually kept the sticker. So I've got cobalt. I've got my kind of orange. I've got my blue, and it looks so beautiful when you put it like that. I even got plungers from them because they said, you know, I needed the housing, but would you take plungers? And I say yes, because here's another awesome thing about Gamerfinger and other buttons is a lot of people do trades, and they do plunger trades, and they do sell plungers, and sometimes that's all you need. I mean, you can imagine when there's only crystal and black nowadays. There used to be white, but when there's only crystal and black, I've got a ton of housing. I really just need plungers, to be honest. If I just buy the plungers, I might save money. And that's what's awesome with the Gamerfinger buttons, you know. They are powered with micro switches inside. The assembly, Gamerfinger buttons are actually easy to take apart without being a big mess. I cannot say that about the Crown 202s. Those ones, when you take them apart, can be a real mess if you try to change the micro switches. Gamerfinger buttons are very easy to change the micro switch, very easy to change the plunger. I've never had a Gamerfinger button break. I think everyone knows that with Sono buttons, you can get those things breaking all the time. It's like regular for them to break when it comes to the snap-ins. And there are no metallic Gamerfinger buttons. So that's the other thing, is metallic buttons are the easiest to break, so they'll typically break on the tabs. But anyhow, welcome to my Gamerfinger collection here. I hope you like it. I hope this is just what I got. This is my haul. This is not even my collection. But I hope you enjoyed this talk on Gamerfinger. The buttons are amazing. And then also these stickers are awesome. That's why people keep them on for the builds, you know. And some people might reapply them, but I wouldn't be able to reapply them. Once I took them off, they're not getting back on. But they feel really good when you do take them off. So, I mean, look, this guy disassembled it. Still has the sticker on it. That's kind of nuts, right? So, people, yeah, I think he reapplied the stickers on them and they look like new, you know? But look, you can hear that sound. They perform great. I do Akira's knee. How do I do Akira's knee? Kick, and guard. I hit him at the same time, hold on kick, and let go of guard in 1/60th of a second. And that's why I know Gamerfinger buttons perform so well. Anyways, thanks you all for watching. Another video is coming very soon, and I hope you guys enjoy. But I hope this video made you happy. All right, take care. And again, please do not buy from the Gamerfinger website. You can look at it, you can browse it, you can check out how cool all the buttons are, but please check out Akikon on Twitter, Akikon Shop, and then check out other sellers that might be selling them, and also look for your classifieds. Look for people that are selling them used in your area, because you'll probably save a lot doing that too. But there are a lot on the market right now, and just be a little patient. Be patient for 2 weeks, you should be fine. I only have to be patient for 2 days, and it's usually fine. But I'm just saying, if you can wait 2 weeks, please be patient. You're gonna get the buttons you want. All right, talk to you later. Thank you all so much, and have a wonderful one. Hey everybody, it's Chanchai again. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I felt I didn't put in the original video, and so I wanted to put it in here at the end. So one, I'm sure you guys would like to see how the Gamerfinger buttons look when you take the sticker off. And so I'm going to show that here, basically like this. This is the Gamerfinger pattern. It's this awesome, to me it looks like a heat panel, but it's nice. And if you can see, you got this nice slick sticker. And actually, these are still great to play even keeping the sticker on. So some people just do that because they just love the look. I like how they feel without the sticker. So stickers like this, you can kind of see how that is. It's very smooth. It's really nice, actually. And it's one of those feelings that your fingers are going to feel very comfortable on these. And again, if we do this, let's see here. Sorry, I'm not using a tripod, so this makes it really rough. Right. Yeah, not the best surface. Not the best place to do this on. But normally, if you hand, this is how it's gonna sound. I'll put a video here. That's without the sticker, with the sticker. Yeah. So, these are just great. Again, my experience is limited to the 30mm and the normal Gamerfinger, which again, I swear these later builds, I think he improved them. The older ones feel like less strong. These feel more firm to me. They feel more dense. Again, this could be a placebo effect. It could also be that I'm just so high on Gamerfinger nails that I just think that they might be better, but it really does feel better than the impressions I had when I first got into Gamerfinger buttons. But those buttons are at home, so. But again, this is nice and smooth. The more you play on them, the more you kind of like these. Now, again, my experience is limited to the 30mm standard. There is a model called the Embed, which I referred to earlier. And I've heard the Embed is closer to like what the Gravity KS are doing. I could be wrong. I heard they have a different feel, maybe a little more tacky. This is nice and smooth. Your finger just slides right across this. It's great. And as you push them, you notice they just don't go down like too far down. They are kind of low profile to a degree. Not the most low profile, but these are lower profile. And again, this is what's wonderful about Gamerfinger button. This is how it looks like without the sticker. With the sticker, it looks really beautiful, but without it, I think has just a really nice look at all the angles you can see there. And you can see how this crystal, the crystal rims, they pretty much go with everything. They blend well with a lot of things, and so they look pretty good. It could just be me, but I feel like maybe these newer buttons have a little bit better build than the older ones. But again, that could be placebo. Maybe we should measure it. I don't know how to properly measure that. Aside from just having them side by side and pinching them and stuff like that. But even the buckle feels like super firm, whereas I felt like they were a little more flexible before. All right. Anyways, I hope this added to the video. I do intend to eventually cover the embed models, and I do intend to eventually cover 24 millimeter and see if there's any issues I've ever had with them. Right. I've said that on the 30 millimeter, I've never had these things break. A little detail also is the smaller quick disconnects. So the smaller connectors. So you kind of want to use smaller connectors there, but normal do work. Just make sure that the rubber or plastic that's on the quick disconnect is like really still newish and still firm, and then it should have no problem having attaching to this. But it is better to get the smaller quick disconnects to use with this. But some players are just gonna want to do the regular thing because they don't like, which the regular connectors are fine. The connectors used for Sanwa, they are fine. But it is better to use the smaller one if you can. All right, talk to you later. Take care and enjoy. And I hope some of you have a wonderful first Gamerfinger experience. But again, use the buttons you like. If you really love gravity, you know, the combo gravity, use those. You love the KS, use those. But I personally think, especially for a competitive player, I recommend these. But I do think that these things are just beautiful buttons for certain people. They're not for everyone. Again, me personally, not the biggest fan of the Octagon, but there's some builds that I want to use it. I do like the way the plungers are designed. And overall, I like these buttons, but for me, it's performance and the sound. Performance also is what steal the show. All right, take care, have a good one, and thank you very much.